Alright, so for those of you just tuning in, we're about to spectate a 1v1 on the map Hideout between two of my high-rated viewers as part of my weekly Twitch TV live streams. If you want to get in on this, you can find my live streaming schedule by going to my Twitch page and scrolling underneath the video player there, as well as following me on Facebook and Twitter. Not sure what the topic of today's video will be. It heavily depends on what two civilizations these players random. Hideout is like a reverse arena where all the trees are clustered in the middle of the map and then both players' bases are kind of jutting out of them, so it's the other way around. And instead of stone walls, you have palisade walls. So Hideout is, okay, Spanish versus Incas, interesting. Hideout is a more aggressive map than Arena because the stone walls are actually palisade walls, so people are capable of rushing each other in the Feudal Age if they so desire. But generally speaking, these palisade walls are strong enough to disincentivize some sort of super early aggression like a Dark Age 3 militia rush. However, strategies such as a men-at-arms tower rush can still be very effective because these palisade walls just don't hold up in the Feudal Age. But before we get too far into things, let me take a brief moment to introduce both the players today. In the green, we have Haru, playing as the Spanish, and on the left side of the map, in the yellow, we have Foghorn TV playing as the Yellow Incas. Two Incas games today. I love this civilization, and if there's one civ that I love talking about, it's this one. They're fundamentally misunderstood, really interesting civilization that's just fairly good overall. And one of the nice little perks we see here is that free llama at the start of the game just adds a lot of consistency to your average game, not having to wait for your cows to come underneath your town center or for you to actually have to find them. It's really nice playing as Incas, and overall they have a lot of relatively low impact bonuses, but they have so many of them that they all add up to create a fairly decent experience. The Spanish need no introduction as a civilization. The Spanish, primarily like a gunpowder and cavalry civilization, they have a very well-rounded tech tree. Their most notable exclusion is that they're the only civilization in the game that does not have crossbowmen. So they're capable of going for an archer rush, but it has absolutely no longevity. And this is a civilization that's just a boon to have on your team always. You're never unhappy to have the Spanish, and that's because of their trade bonus. Now, the Spanish trade bonus is that their trade carts generate 33% more gold, and that applies to everybody on your team. That has actually been nerfed in the expansions to 25%, which isn't a significant nerf, but the whole point of that was just to make it so the Spanish feel less like a ubiquitously just always good pick, something that you always want, and to try and make the other civilizations shine a bit more. But overall, though, the Spanish are still a huge, valuable asset to have on your team. Perfect says, judging by my performance in your streams, do you think I'd be able to dive into HD multiplayer? Sure, I mean, I encourage everybody to play online, why not? Yes, I believe the name Haru is a reference to Nixon from Futurama, which is one of my favorite shows. Nixon's back. So, my allergies, I can't do my Nixon voice. Normally my Nixon voice is on point, I'll have you know. Spanish versus Incas. These are two civilizations that have a reasonably slow early game. The Spanish economy bonus. Ah, Haru remembering he needs to build a house. Nice. The spotlight is on. The Spanish economy bonus is that they build buildings 30% faster. This applies to all buildings. It's okay. In the late game, it's basically negated by treadmill cranes. The civilizations that have treadmill crane are on relatively even footing. But of course, the major perk of the Spanish 30% faster building construction speed is that you get it for free, and you get it early game. Treadmill crane is an Imperial Age university tech that a lot of players just forget to get. So it's nice, it adds up over the course of the game. It's particularly helpful, I find, in my opinion, with walling. It allows you to build palisade walls 30% faster, and if you could add up the time that your villagers spend over the course of a game, it would be somewhat significant. But compared to bonuses like the Mongols' 50% faster hunting, the Spanish faster building construction speed does definitely fall short. The Incas have a bunch of economy bonuses. They have the team bonus, which is that their farms are built 50% faster. This has relatively no impact throughout the course of the game. It's a very, very weak bonus, but it's free and it does something. And then, of course, they also have the llama at the start of the game, which adds a lot of consistency. What do you do when you can't find your sheep? Play the Incas. Never a problem. It definitely helps. It's also a free 100 food that you didn't have to pay any wood for, so it allows you to delay your farms a little bit. It's just super nice. And the llama, as well, has better line of sight than a sheep does. It's 2 tiles instead of 1, which makes it a reasonably good scout too, in case you find your sheep immediately. It's a great bonus. Their buildings also cost 15% less stone, which helps marginally with their booming, because it reduces the cost of castles in town centers. But really, what that is most useful for is a men-at-arms tower rush, and that combined with the fact that they have the llama for a more consistent early game and for better scouting, gives them a really strong tower rush. The other thing that gives them a strong tower rush, and can also be considered an eco bonus in some way, is that their blacksmith upgrades actually affect villagers. And this is something I didn't mention in the last Incas video I did, but what's good about this bonus is that when you bring your villagers forward with the watchtower rush, you usually bring like 4, and you're going for like a men-at-arms rush, you just grab the blacksmith upgrades. It makes the villagers so much more potent in an early game fight. But what I didn't mention before, though, is it just makes the Incas economy harder to raid. It makes it... It's like how I appreciate supremacy more as an upgrade that disincentivizes your opponent from actually raiding your economy rather than an offensive one like we saw in my Break the Meta video, where the Spanish go for like a villager rush, which you can do, but that's primarily just a strategy for the memes. It's not really what the bonus is all about, in my opinion. I think that in the late game, particularly that the Incas villagers have like +4 extra pierce armor from all the infantry upgrades of the blacksmith, makes them very resilient versus raiding, and that certainly helps out a lot. Combined with the discounted castles and discounted town centers, the Incas have the potential for powerful defensive play. They're just a good defensive civilization overall. We see Foghorn attempting to lure some deer, but with a little bit of unipathing action going on, it's quite hard. Speaking of defensive civilization overall, the Incas have couriers, which gives +1/+2 armor to their Kameyuks, their Eagle Warriors, as well as their Slingers, which really makes all 3 of those units super strong. The Arbalest versus Slinger in the late game, they trade relatively evenly with each other, but the Slingers got +10 versus infantry, and plus an extra +1 versus spearmen's great bonus. They have, similarly good stats. It's really the difference in cost in the Castle Age that stops them from just being better than Crossmen, because otherwise they have like the same movement speed, accuracy, reload time, etc. And in the late game, they're just fairly good. The Kameyuks and whatnot form just a nice, solid death ball with good siege line. The Kameyuks are actually fairly good versus infantry units because they have +1 range. You can actually focus fire down cavalry units and everything. Once you start playing with the Kameyuks, you start to realize just how strong a unit that is. And also, similarly with Slingers, you realize that they don't need an elite upgrade to actually be a viable unit. Honestly, the Incas are a decent civilization overall. When it comes to the Spanish, though, also don't forget that the Incas' Eagle Warriors are also very usable now, thanks to the Couriers change. It's just that a lot of we're probably not going to see that much Slingers being used in this game, because the Spanish are not an infantry civilization. We generally expect Conquistadors or Knights coming out from them in the early to mid-game. They can still rush you with scouts or anything, just like every other civ can in the early game, but in the mid-game it's generally mounted cavalry-type units, and in the late game they can leverage all sorts of things, but I don't expect champions to see too much play in this specific matchup, nor halberdiers, because the Incas don't have cavalry units. Welcome to the stream, Delta USA. Grog says the llama's line of sight is actually 3 and the sheep is 2. You're correct. I did get that wrong. It's, the horse is also 2, I believe. A line of sight of 1 would be absolutely microscopic, and yet people scout with them anyway, which I always find hilarious. Aha, he's retrieved the cow. And now, Foghorn TV will be our first player in the Feudal Age, going up at a very standard 28 population, so 27 population fast castle. He's going to put down his blacksmith probably right about now in the market. Where is this blacksmith going? So he's positioning his buildings in a way so that it protects his wood line from enemy attacks, so he will just be able to add like a house here, and a house here, and then boom. His wood line is now relatively unraidable. Ooh, what a big play here. Does Haru see this? Just barely. Once again, we see Town Watch. Look at this, 1 tile. Town Watch, the most important technology in the game. Foghorn TV with doing a sick play here. This is what I like about Hideout. And if you haven't seen all of my expert games in Rise of the Rajas, all those co-casts with Zach, as well as my solo casts, which I will link the playlist here, which you can also find in the video description below. There are some sick games on Hideout in there, particularly that one with the Italians that I co-casted with Zach for the Return of the Kings. It's like game 1. Watch that right now. What are you doing? You get to see some sick plays. Haru Does see this coming in here with a scout. Manages to pick off a villager. Well played. Is that because he had Town Watch? Is that why he knew, or he just had his scout in there? Regardless, this is a great play from Foghorn, taking advantage of how thin this tree line is. Haru now has to build a brand new lumber camp, and this is a lot of idle time. His economy will be weakened. Nice play here. And Haru on his way to the Castle Age. Foghorn TV should be very slightly ahead, and now should continue pulling even further ahead, yes, because of all this idle time. But 4 on stone here signifies Conquistadors. So, let's see. Kamiok is really good unit troops. Very underrated and I think fundamentally misused. It's strong versus cavalry units, strong versus infantry units, and when you compare it to a champion from an average civilization, the Kamiok even has reasonable pierce armor with couriers. You always have to factor that in, and they are slightly faster than champion. They have the same movement speed as a halberdier, which I believe is just a flat 1. They're overall, this is a really strong unit. I think that the Incas are a well-designed, interesting civilization. Their Eagle Warriors can still be useful in the early Castle Age due to the additional armor, and it makes them better in some cases versus like repetitive arrow fire because they have such high armor. I think I generally prefer the Mayans Eagle Warriors though, because the extra HP I find is super valuable in fights most of the time, and the Mayans have a really good economy, so they're better able to leverage their elite Eagle Warriors, and the Aztecs as well too. Being able to carry additional resources makes their farms absurdly efficient as well as all their villagers overall. In fact, the way farming mechanics work, and it's almost impossible for me to explain this, it's even better. The Aztecs carrying +5 is even better on farms than you think it would be. It makes a pretty big difference. Whereas the Incas' economy overall is not nearly as good. These are some excellent Castle Age timings from both players, but Foghorn taking good advantage, I think, of the discount on his stone cost buildings. Now going to put down a town center over here. I mean, this is nice. This is nice. 4 on stone. Yes, indeed, Haru will be going for that Conquistador rush I mentioned at the start of the game. Haru is briefly housed while waiting for his castle to come up. So, why is a Conquistador rush a good idea? There are many reasons, my friend. I'm glad you didn't ask, because I'm going to answer that question anyway. Many reasons. For one, the Conquistador's combat stats, absolutely insane. 2, it's fairly fast. These are some of the criteria that we look for when determining whether or not a Castle Age unique unit rush is a viable strategy for that civilization. Conquistadors and plumed archers generally dominate the Castle Age unique unit rush strategy because, so for starters, the Mayans have a really powerful economy, so they're able to get that out much easier with the resources lasting 20% longer, 15% in the expansions, and then the plumed archer has great stats, it's fairly mobile. Why does mobility matter for a unique unit rush? Well, because it's such a slow strategy, the unit itself better be mobile. If you're fast castling into Teutonic Knights, you're crazy! Of course, I have a Break the Meta episode for literally everything, but that's generally a bad idea, because it takes forever to build a castle, it's a huge burden on your economy, having to mine all that stone, and then you have the world's slowest unit in the game, so your Castle Age Persian War Elephant Rush probably sucks. This thing, though, it's fast, it's fun, and it's OP. This unit is strong. Look at the stats in this bad boy. No padded archer armor, and he still has 2-2. Ooh, 16 damage. This thing's grossly inaccurate, though. I believe it has like 65% accuracy, which compared to a Rambai is something like 20 or 25%. This thing misses like crazy. But when you're in melee range, it doesn't really matter. It hits more often. And another interesting mechanic with units in Age of Empires 2 is, did you know, if your shot misses and it's a projectile, that it actually, if the projectile hits something else, it deals 50% damage to the thing that it hits. So this means that Conquistadors are dealing 8 damage if they miss. Sometimes. That's pretty nice. This unit just has great combat stats. It's fairly mobile. It's an excellent raiding unit. It's a ranged hand cannoneer. Now, granted, it's still a slow strategy, but since the Spanish build buildings 30% faster, when you're building a castle which takes years to build, that really matters. And oh no! Does Haru have the control? I don't know! The answer is he got a little bit lucky with the roll there. The monks do take a slightly random interval, random amount of time to convert, and it looks like he just barely got away with that one. Not noticing the conversion. Foghorn going for some defensive monk play. Perhaps, I mean, what he really wanted was that relic there, but honestly, not having that monk alive is going to be a big blow to him. Nice garrison action here, but you will miss all those shots on those Conquistadors. And now Haru looking for an opportunity to do some raiding. Create some space, hopefully, for him to boom back at home. He's at 45 population here on his second town center. I really like the Conquistador rush from the Spanish. It's a unique playstyle. Wow, he's going to put down a third town center 21 minutes in. Great control here by Haru. Very nicely done in his eco balance. What I like about the Conquistador rush on so many levels is that, like, if your opponent's making crossbows or something, you just get that padded archer armor. This thing's so bulky, and also this castle protects you at home. He's protecting both of his gold mines, as well as this wood line, and then this gate over here, so just well positioned here. Looks like Foghorn's going for a combination of monks and eagle warriors to deal with this. Interesting strategy. Now, I have to double check this, but I don't believe the Conquistadors actually have an attack bonus for his infantry, much like Janissaries don't. I think it's just hand cannoneers that have plus 10. But this unit is naturally good versus infantry anyway, regardless of whether or not it has a bonus, because it can kite them so well, and it is significantly more accurate at close range. The Eagle Warrior, though, does have 3 Pierce Armor, so reduces this damage by 3. The Eagle Warriors are fast enough to get up to the Conquistador, so that is something. But really, I think Foghorn's just doing this for a number of reasons. One, it's easy on his economy. It's much easier to have the gold than it is to have the food, because you have to build farms, which cost a lot of wood. And also just something to distract the Conquistadors. Soak up some bullet fire. That way you get a successful conversion. And monks can be fairly good versus a Conquistador, because the monks have such good range, and then, no, do it with the monks, do it with them. There we go. Monks have good range, and Conquistadors are very inaccurate at range, and also, since they cost so much, Conquistador ends up being a huge resource swing for you if you get a successful conversion. Similarly, that's why monks are so good versus knights, and here, yes, be able to threaten them back. Nice, gets a successful conversion, gets 2, in fact. Good rolls here by Foghorn, just good plays in general. Should be able to defend himself. The monk's crap tier movement speed is largely irrelevant when you're defending with them, so I like defensive monk play. And now Haru, forced back. Sir Lawrence asks, says the conks do have an attack bonus for his infantry? How big is it? Oh, they don't have a bonus. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore that, don't worry, Sir Lawrence. Yeah, I figured they didn't have a bonus for his infantry. I went almost all of my entire life thinking that Janissaries had an attack bonus versus infantry units. They don't. My life was a lie. I had been living a sham. They actually just have 22 attack, and they just deal a shitload to everything. But it's hand cannoneers that have the plus 10 versus infantry, and slingers. But I don't think Conquistadors do. As if they needed to be any better. Do I think this unit needs a nerf? In my personal opinion, no. I think it's just an interesting, meta-defining thing that just makes the Spanish feel unique. I love this. I love their playstyle. And to be honest, this strategy is still slow, and it still has its weaknesses. Like, this thing does still die to enough crossbowmen, and if you have enough knights, I still prefer the crossbows, or skirms is a way to deal with it, but yeah, they can still die to mangonels, they can still die to monks, and the Spanish, as a civ, don't have a very powerful eco bonus. I just love how Foghorn's reacting to this, and it looks like this is turning out to be a good game. Nice. I ask if you guys are enjoying this, that you take a moment to check out all the other stuff that I have in the video description below, from my social media pages to other Age of Empires 2 videos to, more importantly, videos that I do for content beyond just Age of Empires 2. If you take a moment to check that out and support that, it's important because you're introducing players from a wider variety of other games, other gaming communities to Age of Empires 2, and the average person, almost everyone grew up with Age of Empires 2, but they don't know that it's still a thing. So by supporting that content, you're introducing more people to Age of Empires 2 and helping grow that community. You're also helping support my sanity, as well as the growth of the channel, so I really appreciate it. Links to all that juicy stuff in the description below. Meanwhile, Haru, sniping down those monks. I think you have to focus fire him down, but it looks like he's just going to get cleaned up by these eagles. What an interesting, well-executed defense by Foghorn TV. And by the way, if you subscribe or donate to me off stream, and this thing just, my CLR browser just crashed, then I will send you a thank you email. It might just take me a little while to get to it, so appreciate it. So in a second, I need to fix my CLR browser. It just crashed, so I don't know who sent me that donation. Okay, should be fixed right about now. Thank you so much, Somniferum, for the 100 bits. Really appreciate the dollar. Thank you, my friend. So now, Foghorn TV has the opportunity to go aggressively, judging by his movement speed. My heart tells me he does not have squires, but that should be fine. These two players, neck and neck. Which is like a euphemism I never use. Have I ever said that before? I don't know. I reuse a lot of them, but that one I feel like I've never said before, so there's a first for everything. Eagle Warriors. Great combat stats, but alas, I mean, sending him one at a time just does not work. Watch out, Foghorn! Haru has the high ground. It's over. Well, except now Foghorn would like also the high ground of his own. He's going to build a castle over here. Can't build that 30% faster, not the Spanish. Haru trying his best to apply some pressure. He's going to put his castle over here. Nice. Both these players trying to really play to the map. Foghorn says fuck this outpost in particular. Going to try and take it down. Gets another conversion here on a Conquistador. Even more value now that bloodlines have been invested, as well as +1 defense. Pretty solid. Yes, these things do benefit from padded archer armor and whatnot. Well, Foghorn will be able to get this castle up, but so will Haru. Haru's protects this gold, and this is a very crucial choke point, which you must walk past. There's also a relic over there, too, that is now completely protected. The stone mine still in contested territory, and players can always walk around the top side of the map if they so desire. Thank you so much, MiracleLou94, for the subscription. Appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the future. Welcome! What an answer indeed. Here comes the cows. So, I would like to see some stone walls. At least on the backside. I think this is super duper important. Generally, when it comes to the hideout metagame, ooh, Foghorn on his way to the Imperial Age. What about Haru? Haru also on his way to the Imperial Age. Nice. These guys just evenly match perfect game. If you've been enjoying this, I appreciate it if you take a moment to share around some of my content on Reddit or with your friends or on miscellaneous forums. It helps out a lot. Nice. What a good game. When it comes to the hideout metagame, generally speaking, players will focus on one of the two fronts, which is going to be just along the edges of the map. They generally pick the one with the shortest rush distance, which in this case is the bottom one, and then the top side is generally walled off on most expert hideout games. This time, it's not. It's wide open, and this outpost lives to fight another day. Nice. This is in the top 10 heroic anime outposts. He lives. He lives! Haru, protecting a strategic gold mine. He's got the hill. He's got the upgrades. But what will Foghorn transition into now? Are Eagle Warriors the answer to everything? I don't know. Oh, there we go. Here comes the wall. Looks like he's out of stone, though. Or he doesn't want to finish it. Thank you so much, Somniferum, for the subscription. Really appreciate it. I recently updated all my emotes as well as subscriber badges. Thank you, man. If you have Twitch Prime, you can actually subscribe to me for free. If you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free to Twitch Prime. Alright. Eagle Warriors. How do I feel about this? If he snags couriers, these things are pretty tanky. They're tonky. Take all the damage. My heart tells me, though, that I like the ARBs. I don't know, I just like ARBs. I think that ARBs are the way to go here. Regardless, though, this should be fine. I mean, it's an early Imperial Age power spike, and the Eagle Warriors just are easier to deal with as time goes on. It's an interesting thought, right? Because one of the best answers to Eagle Warriors are champions, because champions have +8 attack versus Eagle Warriors, and Eagle Warriors have no Dura armor, no melee armor at all, and they just have worse stats than a champion does. It's super cost efficient. In the long run, that gold cost just adds up. So champions, hard counter Eagles for a million different reasons, and it's an interesting dynamic here, because if you force the Spanish guy to make champions as a way to deal with Eagle Warriors, at least try and encourage it, then you can just make slingers or something and just decimate the enemy champions. But still, I mean, the Spanish have excellent hand cannoneers that fire faster, so I assume that he would just go for that instead as a way to deal with this. And in fact, I would like to see some hand cannoneers being utilized here. I don't know how I feel about the stables. I believe Eagle Warriors have like a +3 attack bonus for his cavalry. I think he's going for like knights or something. I think Conks also have like +1 versus Rams or some garbage. He has to micro like super duper carefully here, otherwise he's going to lose his whole army. I mean, I say that, but the micro is just not here. Haru, experiencing what appears to be, I was going to say a mild Titanic, but perhaps a major Titanic. Oh shit, is he going to use a petard to kill that ram? If so, that's so sick. But no, it's not sick at all. It's just some shitty AoE damage. Oh, disaster. You can use petards to take down siege weapons if you're a boss, but most people aren't that cool, so they don't actually get away with that. Oh, the Haru! No micro at all, and now he's making knights. I think these are, what, these cavaliers? Cavaliers, right? No, hand cannoneers, my friend. Hand cannoneers, +10 attack. +10. Do it. He's eating up. No, I don't know. I mean, Eagle Warriors versus Cavaliers, it's not a wash, but it's just not super efficient. Like, Eagle Warriors have a small attack bonus versus cavalry units, which makes it much closer than it needs to be. And unless he's got this Paladin upgrade in the bank, which I don't think he does, then I'm not buying this one. It does not. No, see, this makes no sense to me. No. I think you fancy champions. Well, not champions, or at least... Okay, conscription I agree with. No, I think you want hand cannoners, though. Like, really. I think hand cannoners is the answer here. Spanish hand cannons are amazing. And the plus 10 bonus, they just shred right through these. I understand the Cavalier thing, though, because they do beat Eagle Warriors, and the Incan Eagle Warriors are not that strong. It is better, it's just, it's a slow build, and ideally you want Paladins to deal with this, and... I don't know, hand cannoniers allow you, they facilitate defensive play, and Cavaliers don't. They're a fundamentally aggressive unit, so Haru's main plan here... Now, of course, it's easy for me to say all this in retrospect. I say this for your... That way you improve your overall understanding of the game, for your own future reference. When you're playing these games, it is tough to make those decisions. It's extremely difficult, and that's why we see players opting to do things like make Cavaliers, because at the time, you don't have that much time to actually analyze everything. But we do see the Cavaliers actually doing something here. Why is this working? There are a number of reasons, but the main one is mostly that Foghorn TV separated his army, he segmented it, and by going forward with these like 20 Eagle Warriors, he actually does not have enough now to take the Cavaliers in a straight up fight, instead opting to break this town center. I don't know if he has Arson, that's not doing that much damage. Haru has to be very careful though, because I don't think he should play this aggressively, unless there's no murder holes. Yeah, I still don't think he should take this fight. I think he feels like he's forced to because of the Trebs, but seriously, this is a huge win. He is not out of the game because Foghorn separated his army. Losing this town center is really bad, but he has to stop fighting underneath the town center. Is this too aggressive? He's also waiting for Foghorn, like he's giving Foghorn time to get pikemen and everything, which is why this is going to work initially, but as soon as the Halberdiers and the Cameots come out, it's going to stop working. Like, I don't think the Cavaliers have any longevity as a unit in this matchup at all, because of the Cameots, which are always an option. Halberdiers are always an option. Haru really wants to get in there and do some raiding to try and even it out, and losing that town center is a big blow to his eco, but I think he's just playing too aggressively. I think he should have taken that win over here and used this as an opportunity to create some space for himself, start transitioning into hand cannoneers. Something that can be, that just scales. Foghorn with an excellent, not quite actually, with an attempted quick wall off, which is an excellent idea, will not work due to the farms and whatnot. Haru just really wants to get in there and do some eco damage. I mean, hopefully he can do it. That stonewall at the back, great play by Haru, by the way, is really saving, really saving him right now. Especially if he wants to get a fortified wall. He's trying to get some damage in. The best he can to even out the economic discrepancy, but really, I'm just glad he's not wasting any money on Paladins. Haru making some great plays here, but I think that the Cavaliers, it's over. No, stop making Cavaliers. Ah. Well, again, I say this for your own reference. If you are in this kind of situation, the pressure is on, of course. I don't want Haru to be nervous or anything. It's all just educational. But for your own reference, a really good player will adapt to the pressure and what units your opponent is making. And in this case, hand cannons just makes sense. Being a one-trick pony loses you games. That being said, Haru is really making the best of a worse situation by killing so many villagers and taking advantage of his mobility, picking off this is just decimating Foghorn's woodlines. This is great. Really evening this out. This wall is just great, but just stop making Cavaliers. Just make anything else, man. Anything else. Also, his economy's falling apart at the seams, but we've seen this before. This happens to all the best players in Age of Empires too, where as the game drags on, their economy just falling apart. Ooh. Slight misclick here. Seeing some militia coming out. Full upgrades. I don't know. I just think that the Cavaliers thing here is just, you know, because it's too good too many times that when it's not good, players don't know what to make. They just panic. They default to like one build. You know, you guys know hundreds of players, I'm assuming, who can only play Huns and only make cavalry archers. Cavaliers are not always the answer as the Spanish, but it just seems like that's what Haru's comfortable with, and I think that you want to be asking yourself, what are the counters in the late game? I think a lot of players also get too used to how powerful knights are in the Castle Age and how difficult they are to counter without things like monks, maybe camels, and to a really shitty degree pikemen. Because knights are just almost always a good opening in the Castle Age, but in the Imperial Age, like paladins, cavaliers, whatnot, they're just more situational units. There are counters once you have a large enough economy to start feeling out halberdiers. You need to start thinking in 3 dimensions, not 2. It's not a 3D chess. Cavaliers are just bad here. Every single Cavalier is wasted money. JT Loneliness, how many villas do each of them have? They have like relatively the same. They have about 100 each. But like Foghorn just has more population now. Because Well, he's just making counter units. You have to transition into something, man. Something. Okay, there we go. Yeah, he's just transitioning way too late. But the good news is, though, is that Haru has made a lot of great plays this game that we have to acknowledge, too. Everything he's done, besides the Cavaliers so far, has been absolutely excellent. And he is recognizing now that they're not the answer, which is good to see. And he is rebalancing his economy. He's just really focused at that moment on applying offensive pressure, which happens. One of the cool things about Age of Empires 2 is that there's just so much crap you have to do, you always feel like you could be doing things better. So, yeah, there's just a lot to manage. You have to decide to manage your time carefully, and it looks like, yeah, he's going to force the retreat. Falcon has to back off, so well placed there, defensive castle by Haru. This is definitely Treb fodder in the long run, I would worry about that, but in the meantime, you just have to focus all your efforts on the bottom side of the map, and hopefully, Foghorn's at max population, the Incas have a very slow push, especially with Cap Rams, it's very slow. Just stop making Cavaliers. Just don't make any Cavaliers for the rest of the game, we're gonna win. It's gonna be okay. Haru probably has been waiting for chemistry, yeah, see, Chemistry takes so long to upgrade that you get punished if you don't get it early. You just get really punished. So, yeah. I think that chemistry earlier is generally a good idea here, but he's been banging his resources, stop making Cavaliers. So now what you do is you set the gather point inside each of these archer ranges, you just try and mass them up. And Haru's done a good job putting enough building fodder in front to hopefully slow this down. Is this his only gold mine? If so, that really sucks. Then he's like absolutely screwed, because that's just bad map generation. Appears to be his only gold mine. So that sucks. I don't know how he's going to sustain production out of the archer ranges for those hand cannoneers. He does have a market, and he has like 200 gold remaining. I mean, he has to hope that this is a big enough momentum swing. And the hand cannoneers, this is what Age of Empires 2 is all about, is the momentum swing when you pull out those counter units. And then your opponent has to transition to something else. He has to research those upgrades, which takes time, it takes resources. Hopefully, the hand cannoneers are enough to swing this game, because then Foghorn will have to transition to something else. His entire army, barring these siege rams, gets dumpstered by hand cannons. Hopefully this is enough. With some good focus fire, maybe, but I don't think he has enough hand cannons, and he's running out of cash. Just, he has to use the market right now and sell some... He is. Nice. Great play here by Haru. A lot of players forget to use the market, but Haru showing promising signs of life. Excellent play. Remembering to use the market. Nice. 15 thumbs up. Seems good. He might be able to claw his way back in this. There's the train in the background. Need money to find a better apartment that's not so close to the train tracks. He's doing it! He's clicking buttons! Look at the way Haru presses buttons. You see that? The difference here. It's crazy, but he has to make sure not to waste his hand cannoneer shots on those siege rams. And oh my god, he's doing it! Where's my super heroic music? Where's my Giles theme? I need something that won't get me sued for copyright infringement. Giles theme initiated. He did it! He built a bombard cannon. He's building hand cannoneers. Everybody who was about to type a comment on YouTube calling Haru bad, you now need to delete it and call Haru your god. Best Spanish player in whatever country he's from. Boom! Suck it, Twitch chat. He's good at this game. Boom! Oh, I'm having too much fun with this. Base Haru. Foghorn on the retreat! Caught with his tail between his legs! That's right, Foghorn TV, confirmed lizard person. What will he transition into? Easy, just Arbs or Scarms or something like that jumpsters this whole army. But, like, if Haru didn't make that one bombard cannon, then he would have had a lot of trouble with those siege rams. Hell, he even made a scout, but he has to be careful. He could throw this game right now, but this is a miraculous recovery on Haru. Well played, 15 thumbs up. I'm gonna give him, it's a 5 out of 7. Perfect score from Haru. But no, too much aggro. Underneath the castle. What? No. When you're attacking, see, no. My heart. Oh, I feel like men. Jesus. I don't have the stamina for this during the summer. Holy shit, Cameox too. As if this game couldn't get any better. I'm gonna die. What a roller coaster. Do not select your hand cannoneers when you're trying to attack the rams, because Foghorn's just he's gonna bait you and outsmart you. Which is a reference that if anyone actually gets, you get a personalized thumbs up from me. I don't have a webcam, but I'm doing it right now for you. I'll thumbs up your comment on YouTube if you got that reference. And I'll give you a seems good in Twitch chat. It's gonna bait you and outsmart you. The siege rams coming in here for the one-on-one contact. I'd ship that. Siege rams have attack bonus versus all siege weapons, by the way, so you can actually use siege rams to kill those bombard cannons. All right, Skinethonian, you have a personal seems good for me. I'm gonna try and survive the rest of this game, Melanie, if I can. Man, what a roller coaster this game is. That's why I love Age of Empires 2. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, please don't tell me there's more action going on. Yes, there is. Light cavalry doing something. Meanwhile, who's going to be the first asshole to make a trebuchet and start killing these houses? Who's going to cut through the middle? That is the question. If you've been enjoying this, I've got good news for you. I have plenty of other Age of Empires 2 videos in the description below. I've got enough of them that you actually can't possibly watch them all. Meanwhile, here come the slingers with the Andean sling technology. That's what it's called, right? No minimum range. Largely irrelevant in a situation like... Actually, no. Actually, it's very relevant versus light cap. So look, this is going to come down to good control. Haru is a miracle worker. But wait, no. I think you should stay on the high ground, my friend. He's taking a lot of free damage as he's trying to just maneuver around. Yeah, but as we see here... Look, once again, the accuracy mechanic coming into play. Hand cannoneers, plus 10 attack. I mean, geez, this is counters. This is counters. Nice. He's got bombard cannons, which fire faster. No siege engineers means that the Spanish push is slower, but... Really, these hand cannoneers are just great. Kamiox. Wonder how heavy that spear is. Jeez. This guy must be really swole that he can actually wield that. I like the light cavalry choice. I think this is fine. Maybe that's why the Kamiox are coming out. But really, Foghorn's going to have to transition to something else. And I'd like to think it's Arbalest or something like that. Primarily archery range units, I think, was just destroy this entire army. And, I mean, these are light cav. These aren't even hussars. You can always just make some halbs or something. Sure, the helps die to the hand cannoneers, but it's going to come down to a well-balanced army. I don't know, this is a really close game, but I feel like Haru has the high ground. Well played. He's got the tread. He's going to start the siege. And meanwhile, there is no pressure from Foghorn on the top side, but a little bit of pressure from Haru. Ooh. Arxion says, can't possibly watch them all. My friend, you have not met me. I have met you, Arxion. You've been here since the dawn of time, and it's seriously a pleasure to have you, man. I'm really glad that you stuck around after all these years. I believe you that you've actually seen everything on my channel. Here the bow says, hey Rez, big question about drushes. Don't you need to make the opponent lose 180 resources, cost of 3 militia in terms of not collection and unit loss to make it worthwhile? That's a great question here in the bows. I'm not exactly sure on the answer to that one. I think that you can't necessarily, like, it's too narrow to measure it just specifically that way because, you know, it has to be, like, time spent collecting those resources, too. So you don't have to kill 180 resources worth of your opponent, but rather just prevent them from gathering that they otherwise would have, or just kill that many, which you're never going to kill 180 resources worth of oh, what is, no, what am I looking at? What is he doing? What could he possibly have clicked on here that makes this worthwhile? What is he doing? Get out of the castle! No! Oh, absolute disaster! Haru, going to lose it! I did not see this coming, are you kidding me? What the fuck was that? Oh, shit! Oh, I'm so sorry, Haru, man, that sucks. I've done that before. I've had my... I've seen the Viper do that. I've seen Doubt do that. We're all mortal. Even gods bleed. Haru almost pulled this one back, but... the plot twist. M. Night Shyamalan wins again. That sucks, because at this point in the game, that's just almost over. He's been doing such a good job raiding up here, too. Look at the chaos he's just sowing, even killing that monk that was going to grab that relic, but just like, I don't know how you come back from this, because gold is such a valuable resource at this point. He's never going to reach that critical mass of hand cannoneers. That was the reason why he was winning all those fights, or one of them, is because the hand cannoneers are so good. In this post-apocalyptic world, where there is no gold, not a single mine left. Not a single mine left. Haru will never be able to replace those hand cannons. And now, he must make light cav. But we see the Andean sling absolutely being instrumental in this victory. So, one of the reasons why Hussars are so good versus Elite Skirmishers have that shitty minimum range. They just have to keep backing up because the idiot can't figure out how to stab with his javelin rather than just throw it. Because he's only trained to do one thing, which is throw javelins. They don't pay him enough to stab. So, Andean Sling, well, it seems like a really boring, weird, just lame technology. No. Andean Sling is actually sick, and I think it's well designed. It makes their elite skirmishers legitimate threats in the late game, because Hussars are no longer an effective counter, because of the lack of the minimum range. And you saw how important minimum range actually was when it was applied to the organ guns and nerf. I mean, Haru's making another sick play here. What's that property? You know, for every... For every misplay he makes, he must make an equal and oppositely huge play. Haru chopping through the middle into this wood line. After this, I'm going to physically collapse. I am so tired. So I appreciate the support. You make me, you make all the work I put in worthwhile. Thank you. It's exhausting. Holy shit. He just wants to keep me in this game till I die. I see how it is. Haru cutting through the middle. Young Doubt doing some serious raiding. Foghorn TV with PGG level farms. We see this happening all the time to the best of us. Of course, PGG being the best of us. For those of you who get that reference as well, also timeless. PGG was one of my favorite people to play with back when I used to play on Voobly. That low 1700 is rated BF. It was fun to play with him. But man, his farms would just fall apart in the late game, so I just have to sling him food because he'd forget to manage his farms. Otherwise, kick-ass player from a military management standpoint. I mean, Foghorn's eco is just, like, non-existent. So small you need a microscope to see it. Let's check out his food. I mean, he's got some in the bank at least. So he's not going to starve. But Haru just has no offensive play at this point. I mean, this is cute. What he's done effectively is he has turned this into a cripple fight in which both players are very, very, very weak. But Haru, I don't see how he can come back from this. This game's been crazy. Ronan Sun says this is better than Dota. I love Dota. You'll never meet a bigger Dota fan than me. As well, I bet I like League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm, everything. Basically, I think it's ridiculous to judge someone else for liking a game you don't like. But the internet is just full of people who are like, lol, Gwent is a better game than Hearthstone, lol. How small of a dick do you need to have to say that? That is the question. So yeah, I hate those people. I do agree, though, that there has been some amazingly, like, competitive Dota games. Like, I actually got to be there in the 2012 and 2013 Dota 2 Internationals, and I find your joke hilarious, man. This is like some TI 2012, 2013 level crap here. I've been thoroughly enjoying this one. What a great game. Mr. Bosa, small dicks unite. Amen, brother. Skinathonian says you should play League of the Viewers sometime. I'd love to. I'll play Dota, I'll play League, I'll play Heroes. I play everything. I even play bad games like Modern Warfare 2. Ooh. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love all games. I play whatever my friends play, basically. Modern Warfare 2 is fun as shit, so I will say that. It's actually one of the most fun games I've played. Okay, this man is dead, so I get to have fun at this point. Raging on COD is fun. Arxion says 2 inches is fine. Racco 4th, small vote. GG, well played! Foghorn TV takes it in one of the most epic games I've seen in a long time. Please share it around if you enjoyed it. As well as leave a comment, thumbs up. Thank you! Seriously, great game here from Haru and Foghorn TV. Be nice to Haru, guys. I have seen worse micro from players with an elo so large that it doesn't fit on your screen. I've seen the best players in the world! Suicide armies larger than that. Titanics greater than that. Haru made some sick plays this game and deserves recognition for each and every one of those sick plays, as well as Foghorn TV for clawing it back and just playing like a badass the entire way through. Nice. Thank you so much, Melanie, for the $33. Really appreciate it, as well as Zekleen Hammer for the subscription. See you next week as well, Assassin. This is a great, absolutely great game. Really, really appreciate it, guys. This is better than Dota. I agree, Ronan-san. This was fucking awesome. It was a huge black hole. What a fantastic game. So close, too. Haru, with the efficient, like, unit choices later. I mean, oh my god, his army is so much smaller than Foghorn's, almost by 100. Was still able to just keep it together. Foghorn was such a well-executed early defense, by the way, with the monks and the Eagle Warriors was just immaculate. Immaculate. Oh, Haru, basically, you played like a boss, But you should have transitioned to hand cannons sooner. I think that the Cavaliers were made too many Cavaliers. It's just the civilization matchup thing. Like, he has... It's just too easy for the Incas to counter. Otherwise, you kicked ass. You should feel good. Foghorn should feel good. You both did great. Both did great. I don't know how Canadian Spirit of the Law actually is, Year of the Bows. You guys have to tell me. Like, is he extremely Canadian, or is he just a bit Canadian? I do live in America, the Jarl of Fred, but during the summer, I had really, really severe allergies, which is basically like perpetually having the flu, so keeping up this level of enthusiasm for this long is tough. It is. It's honestly, like, my allergies are so severe that I get, like, hives from being outside for, like, longer than an hour during the summer, so it's pretty bad. Ed Varder says, you're surprisingly nice, Resonance. Really great commentating. Well, thank you so much, Ed Varder, and I hope to see you in the future. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Everyone's nice comments really make all the work I put in worthwhile. Thank you. Yeah. His micro did kill him. His micro did kill him, man, but it happens. Oh, yeah, no, I totally agree, Ronan Son. I just liked it. No, I loved your comment. I thought that was hilarious. I just like to use that as an excuse to make fun of, not you, but other people who will come to my channel or other channels and they'll be like, lol, Resonance, why don't you play Dota, lol, you noob? And then they find out later, well, they never do because they don't care, that I've played more Dota than them. And basically no one is allowed to leave me a comment telling me that I need to play Dota more until they show me their mousepad that was signed by Pyrian Flax twice at the Dota 2 International. If you have a mousepad that was signed by Pyrian Flax 3 times, you can say anything you want to me. I totally respect you. How many signatures does your mousepad have? How many internationals have you been to? No, I thought your comment was hilarious, Ron-san, just to be clear. I always like to make fun of people who consider rivalries between games to be a competition and they take it too seriously. Like, never judge other people for the games they enjoy. Just play what you enjoy. Now, seriously though, if your mousepad has been signed by Pyrian Flax 3 times, I would love to tweet at me or something. I got mad respect for you. Ronan-san asks, how are slingers versus hand cannoneers? I don't know, haven't done the tests, but I imagine the hand cannoneers would beat them. Well, the slingers have much better accuracy at long range, but the hand cannoneers just do more damage. Slingers are cheaper though, so it's probably not... It's probably a mixed bag. I have Merlini's signature too, actually, come on. Thank you so much, Dark Berserk, for the 5-month resub. Really, really appreciate it. Have you been invited to my Discord yet? If not, then maybe one of my mods can link you. Arxion should probably get back into Aoe2 over the next month or so to know if I should thank you or not. Oh, I appreciate it regardless, and it's good to have you back, Arxion. Yeah. Thank you guys, hope you enjoyed it. I should play Dota 2. Basically, play and enjoy all games. That's what I believe in. So, I'm exhausted. Whew. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, follow live stream, subscribe on YouTube. Rate, comment, subscribe for more videos, blah, blah, blah. And if you're looking for more expert games, then I have a, oddly convenient playlist, like right here, literally made just for you specifically, you, this person. I'll see you all next week. Actually, no, I'll see you all tomorrow. Shit, I'm casting on Escape Gaming tomorrow. And thank you, Zach, for the invite and the host. Yeah. I'm going to run a quick ad. So if you don't use ad blocker, thank you. You put the food on the table. GG, well played. If you've been subscribed for 2 months or longer, you may whisper Melanie for a link to the Discord.